Hello, and welcome to Select 10. If you enjoy dramatic survival stories, Netflix offers an extensive selection of exciting post-apocalyptic series that explore humanity's most basic impulses, covering everything from lethal illnesses to zombie breakouts and catastrophic climatic events. Every one of them takes you on an exhilarating journey of destruction, hope, and survival against insurmountable obstacles. Thus, whether you're interested in science fiction horror, action-packed thrillers, or dystopian drama, Netflix has plenty to offer every fan of the end of the world. Number 10. Snowpiercer. It is an post-apocalyptic dystopian series developed by Josh Friedman and Graham Manson. The show takes place on Snowpiercer, a train that never stops rolling, carrying the last of mankind after the Earth freezes over. The narrative centers on the class conflicts on board Snowpiercer that travels across the world non-stop. The wealthy elite reside in comfort at the front of the train, while the underprivileged endure horrific conditions at the back. However, as tensions mount, a revolt emerges, led by Andre Layton, a poor class member who becomes entangled in a murder investigation that threatens the train's unstable balance. Outside vistas of the train speeding through the freezing landscape heighten the sense of solitude and the fragility of human existence. While the series builds on the concepts of the original film, several plotlines seem stretched out. The action and social critique are also not evenly balanced, but the story is nevertheless engaging. Overall, Snowpiercer successfully builds upon its inspiration material and delivers a gripping dystopian drama that explores survival and class conflicts. Number 9. The Rain. It is a post-apocalyptic drama series directed by Kenneth Keynes and Natasha Arthey. The show's core theme revolves around a deadly epidemic transmitted by rain that kills out the majority of Scandinavia's population. The story follows two siblings, Simone and Rasmus, while they spend 6 years in seclusion. However, after emerging from their bunker, they meet other survivors and set out on a perilous quest to locate their father, who could have the clues to stopping the epidemic. Along the way, the group encounters internal conflict as well as external threats, complicating their search and revealing horrifying details about the virus and the outside world. The show depicts the splendor of a lethal environment, with deserted cities and forests drenched in rain, adding to the post-apocalyptic mood. The use of rain as the primary danger is visually appealing and effectively carried out. Although the idea of lethal rain is fascinating, the show occasionally overemphasizes human drama at the price of thoroughly examining its original premise. The first 2 seasons are fantastic, with a visually beautiful and emotionally engaging post-apocalyptic plot, but the 3rd season occasionally falls short in its world building and pacing. However, the show's strong concept alone makes it worthwhile to watch. Number 8. Van Helsing. It is a post-apocalyptic horror series created by Neil LaBute. The main character of the story is Vanessa, who awakens from a coma to find herself in a post-apocalyptic world where vampires rule. Unlike most humans, she has the rare ability to transform vampires back into humans using her blood. However, because of this gift, she becomes a target for groups of both humans and vampires as she sets out to safeguard the surviving and learn more about her family's history. The special effects, particularly the vampires and the way they transform, are brilliantly done, yet some of the action sequences do not have good visual effects. Vanessa is a powerful, driven character with a nuanced storyline that sees her transform from a clueless sufferer into a seasoned leader. Supporting characters, such as other survivors and vampires, have a variety of personalities, but not all are fully fleshed out. The show's pace issues are its only flaw. Some episodes feel like filler material, but the vampire mythology is fascinating. Overall, despite few flaws, Van Helsing presents an entertaining interpretation of vampire history with a strong main character. The show has 5 seasons and concluded its story. Number 7. Into the Night. It is an apocalyptic mystery thriller series created by Jason George. The story starts with an army captain taking over a commercial jet that is departing from Brussels. Soon, the passengers are taken aback to discover that the officer is attempting to avoid the sun, which has unexpectedly become deadly and is killing everyone who come into contact with its light. Throughout the season, the passengers and crew of the plane must cooperate to remain ahead of daylight while resolving internal disputes, overcoming technical difficulties, and determining why the sun has become dangerous. The airplane setting creates good tension, whereas the diversified group of people, which includes a variety of social backgrounds and personalities, creates complicated interactions. The gradual revelation of each character's past and motivations gives their connections and conflict more nuance. The basic premise is interesting, and the pacing is quick, but key plot points, particularly the bigger mystery of the sun's transformation, feel underdeveloped. Even while several aspects remain unexplained, the series is ultimately compelling with a unique survival concept that keeps viewers on edge. Number 6. To the Lake. It is a post-apocalyptic thriller series directed by Pavel Kostomarov. The narrative centers on a catastrophic viral infection and chronicles Sergei, his family, and a motley crew of survivors as they make their way through a treacherous and icy country. As the disease spreads out, criminal activity, stealing, and despair take over, causing society to crumble into anarchy. The main storyline of the show follows Sergei as he, his son, and his estranged wife search for a route to a secluded area considered to offer protection from the deadly virus. The series effectively captures a gloomy and snowy terrain that adds to the mood of isolation and sorrow. Character interactions play an important role throughout the story, with disagreements and betrayals putting the team's unity to the test. The show tells an appealing survival story, although several of the supporting cast members could have benefited with more time to grow. However, its realistic depiction of social breakdown is remarkable. Overall, post-apocalyptic fiction enthusiasts are going to enjoy this dramatic, emotionally driven survival series. Furthermore, there are rumors that a second season could premiere soon. Number 5. Sweet Home. It is a 2020 post-apocalyptic horror series based on the webtoon of the same name by Kim Carnby and Hwang Young-chan. The narrative centers on Cha Hyun-soo, a disturbed teenager who, following the tragic passing of his family, settles into a decaying apartment building. Shortly thereafter, everyone in the building starts to transform into hideous creatures, while the remaining inhabitants come together to keep out creatures and search for an escape route. The series features amazing creature design, with each monster having a distinct unsettling appearance that represents the individual's internal conflicts. The apartment complex itself adds to the anxiety and tension by giving off the impression of a cramped labyrinth. The show contains powerful aesthetic and conceptual elements, with a satisfactory mix of horror and emotional drama, and while this largely works, several character journeys seem hurried. Overall, the series provides a scary, visually stunning horror experience with well-executed creature designs and emotional depth that will keep you fascinated throughout. Also, the show has 3 seasons and ended its run. Number 4. The 100. It is a post-apocalyptic science fiction drama based on book The 100 by Cass Morgan. The show starts with the return of 100 young inmates to Earth from the Ark space station to investigate if life can survive on Earth following a nuclear disaster. As they battle for survival, the crew comes across aggressive survivors and learns that Earth is not as empty as they had previously believed. As the show goes on, alliances change and the stakes rise as the survivors contend with unexpected dangers. The show masterfully utilizes its natural surroundings to create a lush, yet perilous, post-apocalyptic Earth. The visuals change when Earth's primordial landscapes and the Ark's technology collide, providing a variety of breathtaking set pieces. While the first few seasons are thrilling and intense, the later seasons get more disorganized with somewhat unclear storylines. Overall, the series gets off to a great start with a gripping survival narrative and deep characters, but as the plotlines get more complicated and absurd in later seasons, it begins to lose some of its momentum. But as a whole, the show is a solid addition to the sci-fi and post-apocalyptic genres. Number 3. Sweet Tooth. It is a post-apocalyptic fantasy series developed by Jim Mickle. The series unfolds in a post-apocalyptic future where hybrid children, half-human, part-animal, arise following a global outbreak. The primary narrative is around Gus, a young child whose features resemble those of a deer, who, after growing up alone with his father, sets off on a quest to locate his mother. Along the way, Gus meets an outcast named Jeopard, and the two forge a strange partnership as they negotiate the hazards of a world where hybrids are pursued by humans who hate them for the outbreak. The show has amazing visuals that perfectly convey the sense of wonder and peril of the collapsed world through fusing the splendor of nature with post-apocalyptic degradation. The show moves at a slower pace because it takes its time developing the universe and delving into the backstories of the characters, particularly during the middle of the first season. Overall, the series has 3 seasons and is an innovative addition to the post-apocalyptic genre, offering a touching yet grim story of survival, hope, and family, complemented by outstanding visuals and well-rounded characters. Number 2. 12 Monkeys. It is a post-apocalyptic sci-fi series created by Terry Matalas and Travis Fickett. The narrative centers on James Cole, an individual from 2043, who finds himself transported back in time to avert the spread of an incurable illness that will kill out the majority of the world's inhabitants. The story develops as Cole takes the assistance of virologist Dr. Cassandra Rayleigh and must solve a murky plan concerning the Army of the 12 Monkeys, an elusive organization. As they travel through time, they encounter paradoxes, shifting alliances, and the perilous implications of modifying the timeline. The show uses superb visual storytelling to distinguish between timeframes, with futuristic portrayals of the horrific future paired against a familiar present. Though occasionally the plot gets overly complicated, the show does a good job of presenting the difficulties of time travel. But, without paying great attention, some viewers could find it challenging to follow all the inconsistencies and other past events. Overall, the series spans 4 seasons, and each one is clever, delivering carefully planned time travel drama with a complex narrative and good character development. Number 1. All of Us Are Dead. It is a zombie post-apocalypse horror series directed by Lee Jae-kyu and Kim Nam-soo. The plot revolves around an outbreak of zombies that quickly spreads at Hyasun High School, leaving a group of youngsters to fight for themselves while the government isolates the location. With few resources and no outside assistance, the students have to depend on their intelligence to withstand the crowds of infected. Along with figuring out the virus's origins and how to get out of school, they also have to deal with the psychological impact of losing friends and relatives. The compact high school setting heightens the thrill, as it offers furious and fast-paced zombie combat, and the mayhem outside the school illustrates how civilization has collapsed as a whole. The show does a good job of balancing emotional depth with fear, albeit occasionally its latter episodes slow down. Even though the zombie theme is well known, the high school backdrop and interpersonal dynamics give it an unusual twist. Overall, it's an emotionally driven, action-packed zombie series that adds a fresh spin to the genre. Additionally, the second season is coming soon on Netflix. That's it for today. Thank you for watching this video. And do subscribe our channel to see more videos related to movies and series suggestions.